Recently, I spent 5 grand on mentorship, and I can't speak to what it will be. And there is actually a story I heard a while back. If you know the story of the boy and the horse, it's just like a back and forth story of how things go well, and then it seems like things are going well, they go horrible. Seems like they're going well, then it seems like they're going horrible, and it basically is a story showing that you can actually determine the final outcome. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, right? Where I'm like, it seems to be going well, then there's ups and downs. Like everything, there's peaks and there's troughs, right? But I did this probably 2 weeks ago. Now, I've been absolutely all over the place, literally, actually, physically, because I had an Aruba trip for a little under a week. That was a few weeks back. Then, very shortly after, I had a mountains trip. I went up the mountains. I do that every summer. And then now I have another trip going down the shore. So Crimea River, I mean, these are great things, obviously, to go on vacation, but it's not necessarily like the most fun thing in the world. Not the most fun thing. It's just like, it's kind of one of those things where when you are working, you wish you're on vacation. When you're on vacation, you wish you were working. And now I don't want to kill any momentum I've built up right now, especially after buying this program. I can't tell if glasses should come off, honestly, because of the glare, but I hate that I can't. Like, my vision is bad, and I will be trying to improve it I've been learning a little bit more about sunlight and like the morning light and how it actually can improve your eyesight. And my brother actually did improve his eyesight, but that is a separate tangent. So where was I? $5,000 mentorship. I made a video on this before, but I always delay posting videos, so I don't believe I posted that. So if you guys know who Daniel Baitan is, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I've been pronouncing it Bitten for so long. Daniel Baitan, he made a ton of money from Snapchat, like hundreds of thousands of dollars at like 15 years old, crazy shit. And now he's on YouTube Shorts. I don't know what happened with Snapchat. I don't know if it died out, but he made a ton of money there, and now YouTube Shorts seems to be the thing. So he has a ton of channels printing money. So I knew that he was making a ton of money, and I'm like, here I am with one channel, and I don't think it's rocket science to expand, but I'm like, there's clearly some things I don't know. If I need to hire people, are there other ways to make money that I don't know about? All this stuff, kind of wanting to surround myself with these types of people anyway. And I'm like, look, if the universe kind of gave me that money, right? Like, of course, I played a part in that, but like if I felt like I was set up in a way to get the amount of money I got that could cover the cost of buying that, it kind of seems dumb not to, right? Because of course my brain was like, oh, but then you'll lose out on this money. But it's like, what do you get when you spend the money? And that's what people don't look at often, right? As I heard John Penberthy talk about this, if you know who he is, he said when he bought $20,000 coaching or like a program or something from Russell Brunson, who runs ClickFunnels, that like people don't view these things with a long-term lens. Like when you buy a car, for example, right? What happens when you buy a car? Nobody's like, oh, 30K, I mean, like, yeah, you might say 30K is a lot, but you know you're going to have this car probably for the next 20 years. It's going to take you to work every day. It's going to take you to the grocery store. It's going to take you to the gym. It's going to take you to your friend's house, like that type of stuff, right? So it's like nobody ever thinks like, wow, 30K. Like, no, it's like 30K because you're using it every day for the next 25 years. But people don't view that when it comes to this type of thing, education, right? And maybe they do with college, but that's a whole different game, because right now, if I put 5 grand, which is what I paid, if I put 5 grand into a mentorship, from a 17-year-old kid, right? People would be like, bro, like, what is wrong with you? Like 5K to a 17-year-old, but it's what is the education? I have something that is already going well for me, and I want to triple, quadruple down on it. And this is someone who has been able to do that and knows how to do it. So if I pay them 5 grand, is my money better spent there, or is it better spent 100K to get a degree where I don't know what I want to do, where I walk away, where I don't feel like I've learned any skills? I don't think I've walked out with any type of knowledge at all, right? So it's just, where do you put your time to get the most for it, right? And Shorts has been good for that. And I'm going to be talking about in future videos, like our newsletter too, because that is far from over. I've had many ups and downs there in this journey about like, doing 2 things, and maybe that'll change, because I still do fundamentally agree that why would you be trying to build 2 things at the same time? However, there are some examples of entrepreneurs I know doing that, but maybe that's when they're at another level, or maybe that's when the one business flows into the other business. So it's not like two entirely separate things, right? It's not like you ran an agency and now you're starting, drop shipping. It's like you shouldn't be doing that. But is that what I'm doing here? Not too sure. But I'll be talking about the newsletter in future videos. Right now, this is just about investing in education and the right kind of education, right? Because again, I don't know how this will go. However, I don't regret spending the money yet, right? And that's genuinely because I've had these ups and downs. Like, shit, could I have just kept my $5,000 that I just spent and like done it myself? And of course, there's a reality where I did that. But I know that something I got from the program is actually going to make me a lot in the long term. So again, it's just the lens I view it from, because I could be pissed here. I could sit here and be like, well, what the hell? I only made like $40 today, or I made this, or like whatever it is, right? But if that compounds over the next month, 2 months, 3 months, however long it is, I can make back that investment. And that is the thing, is like so many people have these eyes for investments, right? Where they're easily able to put in $10,000 into the S&P and be like, oh, I'm 100% willing to wait until I retire to make this, however big the return is, like whatever it is, like 8 to 10%. I guess I don't know if that's year on year or what, but people can't do the same for other like people don't view education as education. And I understand, like online education, I don't think they view it as real education, which is the funniest thing to me, because that's the only education I view as real. Like I view current education as complete shit. Like it doesn't mean anything to me, because I don't believe a degree qualifies you for any. And again, like you can 100% leave a comment and be like, oh, well, try to get hired by a job and see if that means anything. But genuinely, like I don't believe I'm valuable because I have a degree, and I'm sure a lot of other things don't actually think I'm valuable either. They'd probably rather have a good worker than someone with a degree. Now, do you need a degree and the good work? Like maybe you need both, right? Maybe you need to say, hey, like to qualify for this, you need a degree. Oh, but you're also a good worker. But I'm not interested in that. Like I'm not interested in even being in like a job in general. And that's very clear with everything I do, like running YouTube channels and shorts channels. Like I want to do my own thing on my own time. I can schedule shorts, which is super sick. Like I don't know why I haven't been doing that, but I'm going to start doing that so I can schedule like a week out and just like chill, which is like crazy. But again, it's not just to chill, because now that I've scheduled a week out, it's like, okay, what are you doing with your time now, right? You're building other channels. And that's where I don't even know right now if I even want to outsource. Like I was talking to Daniel's brother in the program, David, and he said he's paying like $400 a month to outsource, which is amazing. Like $400 he makes, dude, like the amount he makes off a channel is like 20 grand, I think, 20 grand from one channel. And I'm like, yeah, that's easy outsource. But I'm also like, could I just schedule the clips myself, kind of like every few weeks, just like kind of go on a sprint and schedule out for the next like week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even a month, and then like just kind of chill, right? And then just go to the next channel and like keep doing that, right? Of course, if I get to the point where I have like tons of channels, like I think I know someone on Twitter who has tens, if not hundreds. I mean, hundreds is crazy, but still like tens of channels. And that is a lot. Like that is a lot to manage. If you're doing 5 clips a day on 30 channels, that's insane. So even like maybe there you'd have to hire. But besides the point, basically I'm making this to say, if like there will be grifters, right? There will be people that you probably pay that it just won't be worth the money. And that's why you have to be very selective with who you do it with, who you give the money to, right? Because at the end of the day, like it's what is your success rate going to be as well, right? Because with Daniel, for example, like I could have paid for his smaller program, but his 5K one came with in 90 days, if you don't make the 5K back, we give you your money back guarantee. So that was huge, obviously, because it's like, okay, it takes a little bit of the fear away, because it's like best case, I make more than 5K. Worst case, I just keep the 5K that I just spent, right? But you have to be able to, and actually, no, I was in the middle of something there. And it's a mentorship. So I get, I can hit them up whenever, I can call with them, I can do these types of things that make it very worth it. And it's also because I knew, it's just something where like I knew he was legit, right? Like I've watched his YouTube videos, I've seen his Twitter, and it's not to say that just because you do that But like, again, it's just like the vibe. It's just having common sense, right? Like I knew when I bought that, it wasn't just going to be a, haha, I got your $5,000. Like I knew that. So yeah, this video is just to say, if you are looking at, again, hopefully this isn't something I say and you go out and buy something and then and then you realize it's a scam, but you get my point. I'm saying there is education outside of schooling, and actually I think that is the only education in my opinion. And that's actually a quote, I swear. I mean, Mark Twain is misquoted a lot. I've seen a lot of Reddits where people are saying this is misquoted from Mark Twain, but that, don't mix education with schooling, something like that, right? And a lot of people cannot wrap their head around that because they think education is just from school. And I couldn't see it. I could not believe something further than that. And that is a rant for another day. I've probably talked about it before. We're actually my brother and I are writing down our goals right now. And one of the big ones on the list is to drop out. And we're at totally separate stages. He's in high school. He's like in his last year. So it's like, should he stay even if he does super well financially because it's high school? But then on my side, it's like, well, I don't go to college as much. Like I'm less demanding. I don't have to wake up as early. I leave earlier. But still it becomes this, and this could be a separate rant too, is like, and I actually did talk about this before, I just don't know if I posted it, is what do you tolerate? And that is a video I might remake, or a theme you might hear over and over again is, would you just do it because, right? Like some people right now might be like, oh, you're making a ton of money, but like I would still stay. And it's like, dude, am I just effing around? Like, am I just doing this for fun? Like, I don't enjoy college, right? And then I don't get utility out of it. I don't get value. And if I was making money doing something else and I was making more than, say, like a teacher or the average person in their 30s or something, like, why would I be there, right? Because I still have a voice in my head, and I don't know if it's my parents, I don't know if it's like conditioning. It's still like, oh, but you should still stay, like just in case, right? Like I can hear people saying that. Like they haven't said it to me, but I can still hear it. Like even if I was doing very well, I can hear people being like, oh, I would just stay just in case. And I've had that voice going through my head, and it just got to a point where I was like, why? Like for fun? Like just because? Just so in case I totally leave what I'm doing now and like go want to pursue a 9 to 5, like I have the backup, like that just isn't in the cards for me. You know what I mean? Like that's not on my mind. Like I would never be doing well financially on my own without a boss on my own time, and then be thinking like, oh, just in case I ever have to like go make $10 an hour. Again, no offense. Like I work a part-time job. I was making 10, now I make like 13. And I'm like, but I wouldn't want to go back to it. Like, that's not a livelihood for me. That's like something I'm doing to just like make money, to spend money on running our newsletter, or to spend money on ads, right? Or to like start new channels or something. Like I'm at the point where I honestly don't even think I kind of want to step out of the job, because I'm like, it's already super part-time. It's not good pay. Like, why am I even there other than making like a little bit of money that I can F around with and feel a little bit better? There's not much reason for me to be there. So that being said, 5K on a mentorship program. Again, there's going to be peaks, there's going to be troughs. I have no idea what the end result will be, but like I said, so far, I do not regret it. So this is just maybe your sign to take a leap. I mean, it doesn't have to be that big. The only reason I did that is because I made 2 times what the mentorship cost. But still, that was a big jump, because it's like I just made this much and half of it is about to just gone, like literally just gone. But again, the idea is long-term lens. If you have a guarantee like that, if you could just make more than 5K, or if you know behind the paywall is a person who's done something that you want to do and they can shortcut you, you're shortcutting all of that right away. Right. And sometimes you got to get past that paywall. Like I almost had a moment where I was like, oh, I could talk to Daniel, or I could do this. And I'm like, dude, unless you're going to show the person you're committed, it's really not going to happen. So that's really what made me like take that jump, is that I was just like, this is part of a cool story, you know? And at the end of the day, if it flops, then it's still part of the cool story, right? It's not as cool. It's kind of the down part of the story, but I hope this is an uptick, right? I hope this is a positive choice that I made, and there is already something in the program that is going to make me more revenue as I post the shorts. So that's huge. That's a W. So yeah, hopefully you got something from this. I always struggle with finding the outro here. And I have no idea how long this is because I took my glasses off. And even though I'm right in front of the camera, I still cannot, maybe for a second I can see it, but still cannot see how long this video is with the timer at the top. So thank you for listening. I hope this helped. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.